In 1985, the Coca-Cola Company initiated the largest, most expensive new product research project in its 99-year history. For 2 full years, corporate leadership focused on a single objective: finding a new formula. They spent $4 million to ensure the result was perfect. The testing phase was massive. Researchers conducted 200,000 individual blind taste tests. A blind test hides the brand to prevent bias. 30,000 tests were dedicated to the final proposed formula. This chart shows the results of those tests. 60% of consumers preferred the new formula over the original Coke, and 52% chose it over their biggest rival, Pepsi. Armed with these metrics, marketing experts predicted the launch would be the breakthrough of the 80s. According to the math, the market dominance of new Coke was a statistical certainty. The reality of the market defied those predictions. The public was stunned, and they reacted immediately to the change. Almost overnight, Coca-Cola began receiving sacks of physical hate mail. The switchboard at headquarters lit up with more than 1,500 complaint calls every single day. An organized consumer group calling themselves Old Cola Drinkers staged public protests. They handed out custom T-shirts and threatened a class action lawsuit to force the company to bring the old formula back. Exactly 3 months after launching the most heavily researched product in corporate history, New Coke was effectively dead. Flawless data had yielded a catastrophic real-world result. To understand why this happened, we have to look back to the early 1980s. Coca-Cola held a baseline status as the leader in soft drinks, built on a 99-year-old formula. But their rival was gaining ground. Pepsi launched the Pepsi Challenge, a series of televised taste tests showing that consumers preferred Pepsi's sweeter flavor. Coke still led the overall market, but Pepsi had captured a 2% lead in supermarket sales. This visualization shows why that matters. In the giant soft drink industry, a 2% sliver of supermarket volume translates to more than $1 billion in retail sales. Bleeding revenue at the grocery store, Coca-Cola broke their long-standing internal rule, don't mess with Mother Coke, to engineer a sweeter drink. The launch of New Coke was a defensive posture born of financial terror over that 2% supermarket deficit. Where did the researchers go off track during those 200,000 taste tests? This diagram reveals the methodology's fatal flaw. The experiments measured physical flavor preference, but the metric for brand loyalty remained unaddressed. By removing all branding during the tests, the scientists stripped away the visual and cultural packaging. They ignored 99 years of psychological and emotional connection the public had forged with the original product. The research failed because it assumed human beings make purchasing decisions based purely on objective variables like taste. It treated consumers like calculators rather than emotional creatures. Facing total disaster, leadership reversed course. After just 3 months, they rushed the original formula back onto supermarket shelves, branding it Coke Classic. Even then, the company tried to maintain New Coke as its flagship brand, but consumers ignored the designation and reached for the original instead. By the end of 1985, consumers had delivered their verdict. Coke Classic was outselling New Coke in supermarkets by a 2-to-1 margin. This graph maps the final trajectory of the two products. New Coke was demoted to an attack brand, repackaged in 1990 as Coke 2, and flatlined at 0.1% market share. Meanwhile, Coke Classic soared past 20%. Massive datasets fall short when they fail to account for the emotional link between a consumer and a brand. In the end, people don't buy formulas, they buy the way a brand makes them feel.